What is going on, guys? Sonic and the Bean Show here. Today we're looking at the brand new Jakks specific Tanooki Mario figure from Wave 35. So this is another updated figure basically. It's similar to how I reviewed the Red Koopa Paratrooper figure in the other wave, where it had like some slight differences with the paint job really. That's going to be the same with this figure. So unfortunately we still don't have a new character in this set, but I guess there's always the next wave, who knows. So that's, that sucks right there. But anyway, here's the packaging right here. So it is in the standard Mario blister packaging really. So the Tanooki Mario, of course, he comes with the super leaf right there. But the side just has the logo and then Tanooki Mario. And then there's the bottom of the packaging right there. And then here's the back. We just get a shot of the figure, the logo, bio read here, and it has 12 points of articulation. And then these are the other figures in this wave. I think the only good thing about this wave is that it comes with that new articulated Toad figure that was in that 3-pack. So if you didn't grab that 3-pack, you can, you have another chance to grab it in this wave really. But anyway, that was the packaging right there. So without further ado, let's go ahead and crack this Tanooki Mario figure out of the box and take a closer look. Okay, so here's the figure out of the packaging right here. So it is definitely a repaint. I'm actually going to compare it to the older one real quick. So here's the new one right here, and then here's the older one from Wave 4. So as you can see, the brown on this one is a lot darker than how this one is. Even like the lighter brown is still darker than how it is on this figure. And then for the tail, it looks a little similar. The paint job is a little bit cleaner on this one, but I feel like this one is a little bit lighter, honestly. But everything else is about the same. Like, it still has the same arm mold, the torso and the legs and everything. Like for this figure, you weren't able to move like the wrist. There wasn't like any wrist articulation, and you're still getting the same thing with this one. There's no wrist articulation. All of them really had that, unfortunately. So you're really gonna get the same thing you got if you got the older figure. Now for the face, so the head scan, it's kind of similar to what they're doing with the other Mario figures, like the recent ones where they're giving him like those eyes. But I do still like this head sculpt a little bit more. Like the paint job around the mustache, the hair, and the eyebrows, I am liking a lot more. I mean, this is an old figure. I've had it when it first came out, so there's gonna be like some scuff around the paint, but the mustache looks a lot more sharp and clean on this guy. And then the eyes, it's a lot bigger, as you can see. And I think the hair, it's like a darker brown too. It kind of looks like it in a way, but it's really like the same face they're doing like with let me see if I can grab this Mario figure, what they're doing with like the recent Mario figures, where they're giving him like those eyes, as you can see. And they're making the brown like darker too on this guy. So it's really just that. But honestly, for me, like, I think I still like the brown on this figure a little bit more. Like, I like the head sculpt on this figure, but the brown on this figure I'm still liking a little bit more. Especially like, the ears. It doesn't have like that lighter, I mean it does, it's just hard to see because it looks like it blends in with the rest of the suit. So it doesn't have like that light brown than how this one is, where like it'll have the light brown on this side, but then it's like a darker brown on to the back of it. This one, it does, but it's still, I don't know, it still like matches the entire suit in a way. It's not as light as how this part is, or even the stomach really, but I still think the lighter brown on this suit looks a lot more better and accurate, honestly. I like the head sculpt. Again, I like the head sculpt more on this figure. I wish there was a way I could just have this head sculpt on this figure instead, but I am liking the suit still on this figure, honestly. So yeah, that's basically where I'm at. You guys can let me know which one do you guys prefer, but the articulation's still going to be the same. Now, the thing about this figure, there was that hinge on the neck where you could like kind of shift the head. Mine is actually stuck. I can't really seem to do that. Like for this figure, I was able to do that. Got like a weird squeak noise to it, but yeah, I was able to do that with this figure. Well, you can do that with all the other Tanooki Mario figures. This one, it still has that. You can see it. Well, actually now you probably can't. It's a little too dark, but there's a hinge and then it's on a ball peg. Mine is actually like stuck. I can't seem to move it. I don't want to like snap that peg in there, honestly. But yeah, it's supposed to have like that hinge for him to like look up a little bit and down. But you know, mine is kind of stuck really. But you know, you got like a little bit of tilts to look up and down, you know, and a little bit to the side. But you are really getting a full rotation there. Full rotation to the arms as well. The elbows are single jointed, and of course, like I said, there's no wrist articulation with this figure. And then of course you have your hinge to the shoulder that just goes up about there. And then the hips, they're really just on ball pegs, so you know, you just get some movement out of there. Not much to really kick forward or back, unfortunately. And then you have your single jointed knees, and then your tail rotation there, and that's pretty much that. Articulation is really the same. There's nothing new. Everything is still reused really. It's really just the face and then the repaint really. Now for the accessory, it does come with the super leaf, of course, but I do have the older super leaf that came, you know, with this figure right here. So here's the new one right here, and then here is the old one. So the brown here is, looks like it's, honestly, well, it's definitely like a different shade of brown. Like this one's a little bit lighter. This one is I don't know, I can't really tell if it's like it's brown, but it's like, you know, like this part right here, this one, it's not as light as this one is really. Okay, so here's your Tanooki Mario figure comparison. So here's the new one next to the white suit Tanooki Mario, and then we have the gold one from the trophy series. Here's another comparison right here. So here's the Tanooki Mario figure next to the Mario that came in that 2-pack with Peach, and then of course we have the Raccoon Mario figure right here. And if you were concerned, if you wanted to see the difference with the tails here, here's how they look. Not much of a huge difference, you know, different brown going on with this one. This one's still lighter, but yeah, then the ears right there. Alright, so that is going to wrap up this review on the Jakks specific Tanooki Mario figure from Wave 35. Not a lot to say on this figure since it is just a slight repaint, but you guys can let me know what you think about this figure in the comments down below. If you want to pick this up, it is currently available on Big Bad Toy Store. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the review, but until then, take care, my friends.